gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Amen. Amen. Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Amen. Amen.
May his favor be upon you for 1,000 generations, your family, your children, the children, the children. May his favor be upon you for 1,000 generations, your family, your children, the children, the children. May his favor be upon you for 1,000 generations, your family, your children, the children, the children. May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, your family, your children, the children, the children. everyone, welcome to Online Church for Upper Room. I'm Grace. It's nice to see you guys on the online space again. I hope you guys are doing well and that you're reclining and enjoying this broadcast in your comfy PJs. I know future me will probably be wearing PJs as well. If you think I'm looking a little bit jittery, that's because I've just had a lot of dessert. We ordered meat fresh at work today and I had one to myself, which is okay because other people also had one to themselves, so it's okay. But yeah, I'm feeling the sugary effects. It was really good. I know some of you guys have had meat fresh today just based on future sharing. So I just wanted to let you know today's offering is for education. I know the teachers and the school system having a really interesting time this year with what's going on. It's a free will offering, so feel free to go onto the e-giving site to give there, and just some thoughts and encouragements to the fellow teachers. Online learning is a tough thing. Also encouragement to all the parents and all the kids doing online learning. And today's sermon will be brought to you by Josh, who will be sharing a message titled Value of You. I hope this message is encouraging to you guys. And I wonder if Josh's beard has grown any longer since the last time I saw him. You guys can make a guess when you see him sharing later. Speaking of sharing, I sent a message out to quite a few of my upper room friends about what they were eating during this time, and I got a few interesting responses. So next you'll see some videos from some people from upper room and what they've been eating during lockdown. Try not to get too hungry. I hope you've had lunch. So enjoy, and thanks for sharing these videos, guys.
This is Grace, and we're having meat fresh for dessert today, and we have the grass jelly, the coconut sago, and purple rice, which you can't see. Oh, you can see it. Hope everyone is keeping safe, and hope to see everyone soon.
Dinner of corn, beans, tofu, fish, bean sprouts, tauge, potato curry, and rice. Eric, say hello.
Hello everyone.
Okay.
Good food.
Bye.
So it's Filthy Nachos at the Wood household today. Filthy Nachos is just Doritos, cheese, sour cream, salsa, jalapenos, and spring onions because we've got to eat our greens. This is lunch because I'm about to teach again. And Josh, what are you doing?
Well, I am sending emails and text messages and all sorts of stuff, and I have to record a sermon.
So we eat Filthy Nachos. That's all.
All right, Philip, what's for breakfast?
Hi everyone, hope you're doing well in lockdown. So I'm on call this week. Usually I would cook every night and do something quite extravagant, but because I can't be bothered cooking, we made macaroni in a pot in bulk version. So that's what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. Hope you're all doing well.
Hello everyone. Currently at the hospital right now, just staying back to do a late theatre case tonight. So I've ordered in. So tonight I'll be eating a Patsu Yu. So this is it there. So it's just basically white flat noodles with capsicum, carrots, bok choy, chicken, lemon, egg. So yeah, I'm really excited to dig in. I need to scoff it down really quickly because I think I'd go back upstairs really soon. So yeah, happy Sabbath and enjoy the rest of the service.
Hello everyone, happy Sabbath. Welcome to my mukbang. Jokes, it's not gonna be a mukbang. But this is my lunch for today. And my favorite dish for lunch is leftovers because it's the most convenient thing to heat up and then eat before I go back to work. So today's leftovers, we have some basmati turmeric rice, which has some achar in it, which is actually quite nice. And I've also got a bowl of chikute, which is the chicken equivalent of bakute, which is a kind of herbal chicken soup, and is one of my favorites. It's so good. So you can see there's some veggies, some tofu puffs, chicken pieces, as well as the herbal ingredients. I hope you are all staying well in lockdown and also having enough meals during the day. Don't go too long without eating. Stay healthy and hope that everyone is happy and also enjoying your Sabbath today. So I hope to see you guys around, at least online sometime soon.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for the Sabbath day. There has just been so many things that is going on in the world this week, and I just want to thank you that we can have this time to find peace and rest in you, and to also spend time with each other worshiping you. I want to continue to pray for many who are suffering, may it be physically, mentally, or spiritually. I pray that you will be with them, let them know that you are there for them. And I also pray that each of us here can reach out to those around us to show them that we care for them, especially during this distressing time, Lord. And I pray for Josh that you will bless him as he shares your word, and that we can open our hearts to hear you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Let me tell you a story. It's not really a happy story, I suppose, but it's a story nonetheless. It happened when I was probably about 10 or 11 years of age. Many of you may know Port Fairy as a great holiday destination. I know Port Fairy as a great camping destination. I grew up almost camping there. We went to Port Fairy as a Pathfinder club, mostly twice a year, sometimes even more than that. And then as I got older and out of Pathfinders, we would just go down to Port Fairy to camp because it's such a nice spot of the world. And so there we were, I was about 10 or 11 years of age. I was in Pathfinders, and then our camping spot, we have the ocean one side of us, then we have this little kind of green patch of stuff the other side of us, and a little bit of a walk through that green patch are the sand dunes. And these are just mountains of sand that we can walk on, we can play on, we can run around in. Such a great spot for young kids. These days, it's a little bit overgrown. The greenery that we had to walk through is now kind of enveloping the sand dunes themselves. But when I was 10, 11, 12, 13 years of age, it was the best place to be. We had one sand dune that was probably about kind of this steep, and you would get a sled, you'd wax it up on the bottom of it, and you'd slide down this sand dune, build a jump at the bottom of it, and see how far you could launch yourself. That's the type of silly things that we did. I recall going on this sled with one of the adults at the time, and as we got into the air, as we hit the jump, we kind of tipped, and the sled, myself, and the adult that I was with all landed on my left arm. Thankfully, I didn't break the arm, but very high risk of doing so. That was just the nature of my childhood, I suppose. Some of the other activities that we would get up to on these sand dunes is we would play capture the flag at night time. And so we would literally have two teams that were spaced probably 100 or 200 meters apart on different hills in these sand dunes. And it's really difficult to try and find a hiding spot in a sand dune whilst you're also trying to find the opposition's flag. And so they're up on the high hill looking, and they can see all of the movement. You're just a little black dot trying to somehow disguise yourself as a shrub. One of the other activities that we got up to on these sand dunes was we would have jumping competitions. And so we'd find another hill that was relatively steep, but with a flat section at the top of it. And so we would get up to the top of this and we would run full pelt towards the top, the edge of this hilly section, and then we would launch ourselves off the hill and then see who had jumped the furthest. That was the way we spent Pathfinder camps at Port Fairy, playing all sorts of games on these sand dunes, and we could be there all day. We'd go back to camp for lunch. We might bring a cut lunch with us, but it was just an amazing space in which we could play. Now, the reality is we were right by the beach. We're in Port Fairy. We often didn't go to the beach there. The sand dunes was why we were there. We didn't need to go swimming because there was so much more to do. But I recall, as I said, when I was 10 or 11 years of age, we were at these sand dunes. I was there with all of my siblings because we were all in Pathfinders, along with the rest of our Pathfinder club there. And we were there playing the last game that I've just kind of explained to you, where we run across that flat section at the top of the sand dune and we jump and launch ourselves to try and see who can get the furthest. And after you jump, you're having a bit of a laugh. You've got to climb back up that sand dune. You've got to climb back up to the top. And your energy is starting to get depleted because you're exerting energy every time you run. You're exerting energy every time you jump. I don't know whether you've tried to run on sand, but it's not the easiest of experiences. And when you're only 10 or 11 without too much life experience, it gets a little bit more complicated as well. So there I am. I run, I jump, I climb my way back to the top. We have a bit of a laugh, we have a bit of a rest, we go and run and jump again and climb my way to the top. And we do this quite a number of times. And all of a sudden I'm starting to get worn out. And there's only a few of us left. A few of the other people have gone to do something else. And I recall the people that were there. I won't name them because I think that's probably not the wisest thing to do given the story that I'm telling. And I run and I jump down to this sand dune. I start climbing up and I'm really just out of energy. I'm starting to climb up. And this one person comes down and grabs me and throws me back down. I would think nothing of that because that was part of the game we used to play. One of the games we used to play, in fact, was, you've got to try and get to the top of the hill and you've got like the king of the castle trying to stop you from getting there. This wasn't an arranged game at this point in time, so I just figured he was trying to start a new game. That wasn't the case. So I get thrown down the hill and I have a bit of a laugh and I climb back up and I get thrown back to the bottom of the hill again and climb back up, and I'm starting to get really frustrated. And at this point, this one person becomes 3 separate people now that are just blocking my ability to get to the top of this sand dune. And I'm getting really, really frustrated. I just want to get up to the top and have a rest. I want to have a drink. I want to have a snack. I don't want to be getting thrown down all of the time. Now, I don't know about you, but we have been in lockdown for quite a long time. And part of me feels like we're just getting thrown back down all of the time. And I'm starting to get that same kind of frustration that I felt when I was 10 or 11 years of age. I'm just getting thrown down every which way I turn. I'm getting thrown back down and then I'm running out of energy. Well, here we are still on this sand dune, back to when I'm 10 and 11 years old, and I'm starting to climb up. And I get thrown down for, I don't know, the 10th, the 12th time. And the person who throws me down says words that I remember to this day. They say something to the effect of, "You're not wanted. No one wants you here. You just need to stay down there because no one wants you here." Now, I don't know exactly the intent of that comment that was made. I didn't, I suppose, have the maturity to process that, to engage in that conversation at this time. But that broke me and I felt really dejected. And I just broke down, and thankfully at that point there was someone else who had just come over and they came and rescued me and took me back to camp in the dejected state that I was. Mind you, the campsite was still a half-hour walk away, but we managed to get back there. But the comment about not being wanted, the comment about no one ever having wanted me, was something that really I took to heart. And I started to think, well, did Did my parents not want me? Did my siblings not want me? Did my grandparents not want me? Did my church family not want me? No one wants me. And as much as that event is some 20 or more years ago now, there are times in my life that I still kind of go, you know what? I don't know that I'm adding value. I don't know that I'm adding anything to people's lives at this point in time. Perhaps you've had a similar experience throughout your life. Perhaps the experience of lockdown after lockdown and the restrictions we find ourselves in with COVID leads you to ask questions about the value you add in life, about the value you add to people, about your contributions and whether they might even be wanted anywhere. Well, I'm here today to give you encouragement. I'm here today to tell you not only are you wanted, not only are you valuable, not only are you just irreplaceable, but you are planned. And our message today, it's not going to be long, it's not going to be long-winded, I'm not going to draw this out. I just want to share really 2 Bible verses with you that really drive home the idea that through all of the difficulties of life, we are still valuable, we are still wanted, we can still contribute, not just to life, but to God's kingdom in ways that nobody else can. And so I want to share with you, we're going to read a giant passage actually, but focus on a specific section of this from Psalm 139. Psalm 139, which states, and this is in my Bible titled, For the Director of Music of David, a psalm. And we know that David wrote psalms at the high points of his life. We know that David wrote psalms at the low points of his life. And the thing that I love about the book of Psalms is it hasn't been edited so that it only shows the good moments. That hasn't been edited to show that the Christian life, the Christian walk is full of rainbows and unicorns, so to speak. And it gives us the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this one is a really uplifting psalm, Psalm 139. And you can just almost hear David singing this as he goes along. Psalm 139. You have searched me, O Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all of my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, you know it completely. You hem me in, behind and before. You lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too powerful for me, is too wonderful for me, it's too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit, Lord? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you're there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you, Lord. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book. Before one of them came to be, they were written in your book. How precious to me are your thoughts, God, how vast the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. So when I am awake, I am still with you. If only you, God, would slay the wicked. Away from me, you who are bloodthirsty. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, Lord? and abhor those who are in rebellion against you. I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them as my enemies. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. You see, this psalm is a psalm that speaks of the highs and also the lows and how they can come at the same time. David is praising God, and at the very end of this psalm, he says, you know what, God, I hate these people. I hate them. I hate the way I'm treated. I hate the way they speak to me. I hate the way they look at me. But God, I am valuable, even though they speak negatively of me, even though they put me down, even though they try and throw me back down to the bottom of that sand dune, even though they do that, and I feel hatred towards them, the things they're saying about me, the negative thoughts they're putting in my mind, I need not worry about them, because I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and you have protected me. You've put a hedge around me to protect me. Verse 13 and 14, you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works, Lord, they're beautiful. I know that full well. And so you may be in a period, a season of life where you're not feeling valued, where you're not feeling worth anything, where you feel like people are just putting you down, where there's nothing really to live for. My encouragement for you today is that God has deliberately planned and made you. And more than that, the next passage I want us to look at comes from the book of Ephesians chapter 1. And I want to read this from the New Living Translation. Ephesians chapter 1 says that God decided in advance to adopt us into his own family by bringing us to himself through Jesus Christ. This is what he wanted to do, and it gave him great pleasure. Not only are you fearfully and wonderfully made, but your value is found in the fact that God, the creator of the universe, has chosen you. Even when you don't feel like no one wants to choose you, God has chosen you. He sent Jesus to this earth to die, even if it was just for you. And so my encouragement to each and every one of us today, through the challenges that we find ourselves facing with restrictions in life due to coronavirus, with restrictions to our movement, restrictions to our ability to see one another, and the stress, the anxiety that comes with not being able to see other people and interact with other people, is that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you are chosen to be a member of the family of God, not just for today, but for all eternity. And so when things are really troubling you, when things feel like they're going from bad to worse, just remember that you are a child of God, and that for all eternity you will be a child of God, and that your value is not found in what other people think of you, but your value is found in the fact that you are chosen by the Lord of this universe to be one of his children. Let me pray for you. Father in heaven, I don't know about those who are watching along today, but life can certainly throw some difficult times in our path. And I pray, dear Lord, that we recognize that when we feel undervalued, when we feel not valued at all, when we feel worthless, that we find our worth in you rather than what other people like to say our worth is found in. It's not found in our jobs, it's not found in our status, it's not found in our money, it's not found in our families. It's found in the fact that we are children of the risen King. And I pray that you give each person who is spending time with us today the encouragement that their value is found in you, and that they will search for that value each and every day and honor that value by being the best version that we can be, the most honorable version of your children that we can be. Even when times are tough, may we recognize that you are there for us, protecting us. I pray this in your name. Amen.
yeah, so that's all for today's online worship service with Upper Room. I hope you guys felt blessed and enjoyed the sharing throughout the service that included the sermon and the food sharing and prayer and music, everything else. It was nice to be able to connect with you guys through this space, and yeah, I hope to see you guys soon on the online forum or wherever, whenever. In my case, I'll be seeing Tal and Josiah on Monday at work. Don't worry, it's all legal and above board, and I'm really excited. No, but seriously, enjoy the weekend. And if I had any suggestion of what to do other than going out, stretching your legs and going for a walk, it would be to play some online games with your friends on the Skype or the Zoom or Discord. A suggestion I would have would probably be, I think we've been really enjoying Gartic Phone, drawing some really cool pictures, or there's like Catan Online, which is, it can be confusing, but if you need any tips, Brian's pretty good at teaching, so I've heard. So yeah, anyway, I've been rambling, but I'll see you guys soon. Have a good weekend.